Hey there friends, Foster the Canadian here. Welcome to Fridays with Foster, episode 10. This is twice as long, this is special. So basically there's going to be twice as many stories, twice the gameplay, twice everything. And a quick note on the gameplay is this is not my best gameplay, and the reason is I've been in a bit of a slump at Halo. I don't know what it is, but lately I can't really get into the groove. Hopefully, you know, I get a little more motivated, I get better, but for now, this is a mess that I could come up with. And if you didn't know, Fridays with Foster is a weekly series in which you guys send me in stories, ask me advice, I give you my answers, my own take on them, blah 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 blah. Let's start with story number 1. Alright, I'd like to call this first story, Horrified and Hungry. This story takes place about 3 years ago. One day, me and my two friends were chilling out at my place when we were super bored. It was getting late and we were hungry. The fridge was almost empty, so I told them that we could walk over to KFC to get some chicken. Behind my house there was a canal that runs east to the main street. KFC is located across the main street, and I told my friends that we could get KFC faster if we walked down the side of the canal to the main street. They agreed. So we hopped the back fence and started walking down the canal to KFC. Nothing weird happened until we got about 3/4 down the canal. I turned around and saw that 2 college-age guys were following us. One guy was a dark-skinned man with plaid red shirt, and the other guy was a white guy wearing a blue beanie. The beanie guy was holding something shiny in his hand. I thought it was a pocket knife because of its shape and reflection. I alerted my friends about the 2 guys, and when my friends turned to look at them, one of the college guys shouted, "Hey, where the frack you think you're going?" And the 2 college guys started moving faster towards us. Without looking back, the 3 of us bolted down the end of the canal, crossed the main street, and sprinted to the KFC. Out of breath and terrified, I told my friends that we should hide out in the restroom until we lost the 2 guys. They agreed, and we went down the hallway that led to the restrooms. In the restroom there were 4 stalls. We all chose separate stalls, and I chose the first one. I moved into the stall and shut the stall door. Nervous as all hell, I kept peeking at the restroom door through the crack between the stall and the stall door. We were in the stalls for about 2 minutes when I heard the bathroom door creak open. Horrified, I saw a blue beanie guy walk into the restroom. Blue beanie guy stood at the door for a second, then moved past all our stalls and entered the final stall. I motioned to my friends from under stalls to leave. We fled the restroom. When we got out of the restroom and turned to the hallway corner, one of my friends softly exclaimed, "Oh crap!" I turned to look where he was looking, and saw that blue beanie guy's buddy, Plaid Man, was at the counter. He was facing away from us and was checking something on his phone. Panickingly looking for any means of escape, I noticed there was a side exit door to the left of me. We could easily sneak out of the side door without Plaid Man noticing. I moved to the side door and slipped past the exit with my 2 friends. The sun was setting over the horizon, and the 3 of us, totally forgetting about our hunger, took off into the sunset. Okay, very well written story. You know, he sent me a message after saying that after that day, never walked down the canal by himself. He recently moved away from the house, but that day still haunts him. And I don't doubt it. That seems like a pretty freaky moment. You know, these 2 college-age guys are following you down. That's never... I mean, that just... It feels like something out of, I don't know, some 80s, like, coming-of-age movie. They're walking down the canal, you know, we're gonna get some chicken! All of a sudden, you know, these 2 guys come out and then they have to band together and face their fears, overcoming and becoming men. I don't know. But it's a funny story because one thing you may not know, Plaid Man and Beanie Boy actually became superheroes. Or at least they sound like superhero names. I really don't have anything to compare this story to. It's just a really interesting story and kind of what I figured Fridays with Foster was not really intended for, but something that I really hoped that it would become is getting stories like this, you know, just little interesting things that I could share with you guys and give you my take on. So thank you for sending that in, and let's get on to the next story. Alright, this story I'd like to call Pornographic Pranksters. I have a funny story for Fridays with Foster. We were on our final exams and we were supposed to make a game on Flash that teaches people how to recycle. You had 5 buttons on the screen. If you selected one, it sent you to a specific area with tips and info about random stuff. Well, my friend who was always making pranks got sick and didn't go to school for 3 days. So me and my other friends decided to make his project a little more interesting. On each area, we added porn photos instead of recycling tips. We didn't tell anyone. The next day my friend arrives and the teacher was checking projects, and when he went to my friend's place and asked him to show her the project, I seriously wanted to laugh so hard. Pressed a button and porn appeared. She screamed, "What the heck is that crap?" I laughed my ass off so hard. He was shocked. Then we all told him that was a joke and we got suspended for a week. It was worth it. Should have seen his face. P.S. Keep doing Fridays with Foster. Thank you, I plan to. Now, there is a part of me that wants to, kind of reprimand you for doing this and say that, you got what you deserved by getting suspended. But then there's a part of me that is just so happy that something like this occurred. I love pranks. What can I say? I love pranks. I used to prank my sister all the time. And she doesn't like pranks as much as I do. But this is, I think you did the right thing here by fessing up, because you could have got your friend in a lot of trouble. But you owned up to it, you got suspended for it, and that was the right thing to do. That's, right call. So, I'd like to congratulate you for making the right decision when it came down to it. And this way, you can tell the story, and you have your fun, and you kind of owned up to it, and no one got hurt except for you. And I think that's what a prank should be. A prank should be, no real victims. And even though there were kind of victims, it's nothing serious that lasted long. There's no real lasting impact here, except for a great story that you could share with me that I now shared with everyone watching this. So thank you for sending that in. Alright, story number 3, peer pressure and drug dilemma. Hey Foster, I need help please. So I'm in grade 10 and I've had the same group of friends since I started high school. Last year they started doing pot and asked me to join them. I declined but still hung out with them, and there really wasn't an issue. This year they started doing heavier drugs such as E and acid. And they told me that if I don't start joining in on the party with them, that they'll stop hanging out with me. They're still the same people that I knew back when we became friends and have always been kind to me, which is more than I can say about other people at my school. I'm seriously thinking about starting in with them, but a part of me is deeply afraid. Drugs didn't seem to change them, but I'm still scared. I don't want to lose my friends, and I'm not sure I want to get into heavier drugs right off the bat. What do I do? What do you do? Look, I think that you sent me this knowing what you should do. You know not to do drugs. This is like basic stuff here, but I'm going to elaborate on this for you, alright? You say that they are still the same people, that drugs didn't seem to change them. Then let me ask you this. How come a year ago it was cool that you didn't do drugs, but now if you don't do drugs you can't hang out with them? That's not a change? Like, to me that seems like something definitely changed in their opinion. Either they've become more bitter, or my theory is that, misery loves company and they want you to have to suffer with them, because that's what drugs do. Look, you get addicted to this substance that, gives you a momentary high, and then you feel like crap without it. That's not what you want with your life. If humans, as beings, have this amazing ability called foresight. And foresight is something that everyone should be utilizing when it comes to things like this, but very few people actually think about it. Now, I'm going to save you from using your own foresight right now and give you what I see, alright? I see someone trying to get a job after high school with a drug addiction. I see someone who gets paid maybe minimum wage and has to spend all that on drugs. I see someone whose body is riddled and weakened by drug abuse over the years, someone who cannot function properly anymore, someone who no longer can live their life normally, has no friends, and has been sucked into this, whirlpool of misery and of poverty, and they just can't seem to get back out of it. Right now, you don't have to deal with that. Right now, you are in grade 10. You have your whole life ahead of you. And so what if they are the only people right now that are treating you well? I guarantee you there are more people in your school that would love to hang out with you. That would think that you're just, a great guy. Go find them. There are so many groups that you can join. I can tell you right now, I made a lot of good friends just from playing Xbox Live. That's what you could do. You could connect with other people at your school that play Xbox, or go on Xbox Live, find, online buddies. But you don't want to hang out with people that want to drag you down with them. As much as I hate to say it, these guys are pretty much lost causes at this point. I mean, you know what drugs can do to people. You're watching it right before your eyes, and it has been basically told to you since the day you were born how bad drugs are. How many times you need to watch after-school specials and documentaries before it sinks in that this is not something that you want to get into. You can walk down any street of a major city, and you can see people who are homeless because of drugs, who can't function normally, who have spent all their money ruining themselves. You look at people who live normal, happy lives. These are the people that don't have to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month on a drug addiction. You gotta use foresight and realize that this is something that you are going to have to start paying out of your own pocket. And even on a financial level, if that's what it needs to really get you going and think that this is something that you really could do without, then use that. I mean, you don't want to be spending all that money on drugs. You could be buying video games. You could be buying, I don't know, popcorn, going to movies, going out on dates, doing something that's really fun, something that will benefit you, that will benefit people around you. Or you could go spend it on drugs, get your body weakened and riddled with all kinds of sores, and I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to see you lead that kind of life. I don't think you want to see you lead that kind of life, and I think you know that once you start these heavier drugs, you can't just get off of them. So my advice is, you gotta lose the friends, you gotta find some new friends out there. There are definitely people out there who would like to hang out with you for who you are and not try to drag you down and make you do drugs. It's simple stuff, it really is. Just use foresight, look at what your life is right now, look at what your life could be on drugs, and look at what your life could be off drugs, and I think you'll make the right decision. I really hope this helps, and, good luck to you. I'd like to call this next story, Battle at Washington Campground. You said you wanted something crazy for Fridays with Foster, so here it is. I went camping with my family last summer by a lake in Washington. It was a long drive and there were no other campers or any sign of civilization where we were. So there I was, stranded with my family, a group of survivors attempting to brave the wilderness. The first night was uneventful. A few fierce encounters with swarms of angry, bloodthirsty mosquitoes. Nothing I couldn't handle on my own, equipped with the greatest weapon any bug destroyer could ever require. A can of antibug. The second day was decidedly more difficult. I braved the lake of water beckoning for my demise and came out a stronger swimmer and a stronger man. It prepared me for the horror that was to come. That night while I was in my canvas fortifications, I hear a booming rustling from the bushes. I quickly withdrew myself from the tent and saw it. At first I thought it might have been a relative of one of the mosquitoes that I fell in the days past, but no! This was a ravenous raccoon, hungry for challenge. I braced myself for the battle, and challenged the beast to come forth. As we circled each other, I knew I had to think fast or perish. So I leapt sideways, knowing that my final moments were incoming. Not even having time to ponder what my life has been, I heard something land near me. It was a rock. My brother had awoken to the ruckus and came out to my aid, scaring away the beast with his skill and rock-throwing prowess. To this day, I owe him everything that I am, and that I will be. He is my brother, He is my hero. He is Bill, Raccoon Eradicator. Okay, am I the only one here that feels that deserves a round of applause? That deserves a standing ovation. That, my friend, is how you sell a story. This is probably the most well-written story that I've ever received on Fridays with Foster. It's right up there with that first episode where someone fancied up the way they were telling how they had a bit of a bad stomach at school. This, my friends, this is a story for the ages. I applaud you, sir. Thank you for sending this in, and I hope that you guys enjoyed my telling of this great tale. Alright, now this isn't a story, but this is something that I'd like to do every Fridays with Foster. I'm going to take my favorite comment from any one of my videos that week and throw it in here. This one is just so over the top and ridiculous, I love it. This is from Deke Dangle Snipe. Great name, by the way. I'm Canadian. This country is over the top compared to America, my opinion. Free healthcare, child taxes, most importantly, hockey, it's my life. And when USAians talk smack to me, I say, okay, have fun with your McDonald's. And I'll say, A, for a joke. Everybody from Oklahoma pretty much knows me on Xbox Live, hashtag Team Canadians. This is an award-winning comment. I have been giggling about this comment for a long time now. I had to put it in here somewhere. Deke Dangle Snipes. Deke Dangle Snipe, sorry if I screwed that up. I salute you. Great comment. This is exactly what YouTube comments are supposed to be. And next week, maybe one of you guys will be in here. I'm not going to be taking comments just from Fridays with Foster videos. So, you know, whichever clever, funny, weird comment catches my eye next week, that'll be in. Alright, and to end it all off, we have a question. If you could travel to any point in time, where would you go? Now, like most people, this is something that I've actually thought about, and I think I'd like to travel back in time to the first monkey that ever ate a banana. Now, bear with me here, think about it. That monkey, he's gonna, like, figure out how to open a banana, he's going to eat it, and he's going to flip out. He's gonna start freaking out. He's eating a banana, this great fruit, and he's gonna go to all his monkey friends, and he's gonna be all like, you gotta try this, it's a banana, it's crazy! And I just think it would be really funny, especially if I could see it as like a passive observer and not really get in the way. You know, sort of just observing what's going on without actually getting involved, because I don't want to be attacked by, you know, monkeys who have just eaten bananas. I want to see it happen. That's it. You know what? Why don't you guys let me know what you do if you could travel to any point in time? Let me know in the comments section. Alright, so that'll wrap it up for this special episode 10 extravaganza of Fridays with Foster. It took a tremendous amount of effort. Part of the reason is my computer crashed when I was editing the first time and I lost all the information, and I hope that it was worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, let me know with a thumbs up or a comment. And what you can do right now is watch Foster's Mind, episode 9, which you can see right there, or you can look at last week's episode of Fridays with Foster, which is Canadian Love and Dream Big. I got a little sentimental, but I feel like it was still a pretty good episode, so go check those out. And until next time, this is Foster the Canadian, saying see ya.